5 FOODs you should never reheat health risks exposed. Have you ever pulled a Tupperware from the fridge, popped it into the microwave, and felt like you're being smart with leftovers? What if I told you that some reheated foods quietly become toxic, raising your risk of cancer, gut problems, brain fog, and more? In this video, we'll reveal 5 everyday foods doctors and nutritionists say you should never reheat because science shows they can turn dangerous when warmed again. We're not just talking about spoiled items. These are foods many of us think are healthy and convenient. Stay till the end because you'll learn not only what to avoid reheating, but why with real medical evidence so you can protect your health, sharpen your mind, and feel your best every day. Let's get into it. 1. Spinach leaves, the nitrate trap that turned healthy into harmful. Spinach is a household favorite celebrated for being a nutritional dynamo. It's a versatile leafy green that fits seamlessly into everything from green smoothies and weeknight stir-fries to lasagna layers, pasta bakes, and fresh salads. Packed with vitamins A, C, and K, plus iron, folate, and a host of antioxidants, spinach consistently earns its reputation as a health powerhouse. But here's the hidden twist. If you cook, store, and then reheat spinach, especially in the microwave or at high temperatures, you might be turning a superfood into a source of trouble. The root of the issue lies in spinach's naturally high nitrate content. In raw form and when lightly cooked, nitrates are harmless and can even support healthy blood flow and lower blood pressure. They help oxygenate tissues and may enhance athletic performance. However, when spinach undergoes prolonged storage and reheating, particularly in low-oxygen environments like sealed containers, the nitrates can degrade into nitrites. Those nitrites under heat can convert into compounds called nitrosamines, which research links to increased cancer risk, especially in the digestive tract. The World Health Organization and the National Cancer Institute have flagged nitrosamines as concerning because they are carcinogenic. Moreover, emerging studies suggest they may contribute to neurological damage over time, potentially increasing the risk of cognitive decline. This invisible transformation makes the danger sneaky. You can't smell it, see it, or taste it. That's why this matters especially for older adults. As we age, our cellular repair and detox systems slow down. What once was a minimal risk can become a more significant concern in our 50s, 60s, and beyond. Over months or years, chronic low-level exposure to nitrosamines has been tied to systemic inflammation, which is a key driver in conditions like Alzheimer's disease. Here's a realistic scenario. You make a big pot of spinach soup on Sunday. By Tuesday, you nuke a bowl in the microwave. It tastes fine, but the reheated spinach may now contain nitrosamines formed during storage and reheating. Do this often enough and those compounds quietly accumulate, potentially increasing long-term risks. The fix isn't to avoid spinach, quite the opposite. Fresh and lightly cooked spinach remains one of the healthiest foods you can eat. The smart strategy is to eat it fresh or only gently cooked. If you have leftovers with spinach, treat them cold. Think chilled spinach dip or a cold salad with a lemon olive oil vinaigrette. If you must reheat, use low heat on the stovetop rather than a microwave, and avoid reheating multiple times. Store spinach dishes promptly and consume them within a day or two. Small adjustments can keep this nutrient-rich food on your side. 2. Potatoes, the comfort food that can turn dangerous when warmed again. Potatoes are a global staple, beloved for their affordability, versatility, and comfort factor. From creamy mashed potatoes to herb-roasted trays, baked jackets, or simmered stews, they anchor meals and satisfy appetites. The danger often starts when potatoes are cooked, left to cool, stored, and then reheated, a common routine in many households. That sequence can change their chemistry in ways that might put your health at risk, especially if handled improperly. Here's what happens on a scientific level. Freshly cooked potato starch softens into a form the body digests easily. As the potatoes cool, especially if left at room temperature too long or refrigerated for extended periods, the starches undergo a process called retrogradation, forming resistant starch. In moderation, resistant starch can be beneficial, acting as a prebiotic that supports gut health and stabilizes blood sugar, as noted in nutrition journals. But the real worry emerges when those cooled potatoes are reheated, especially in a microwave. The biggest threat is bacteria. If potatoes are cooked, wrapped in foil, creating a low-oxygen environment, And allowed to cool slowly at room temperature before refrigeration, they can become a breeding ground for Clostridium botulinum, the bacterium responsible for botulism. Even if the potatoes look and smell fine, the bacteria can produce neurotoxins that are invisible, odorless, and tasteless. The result can be severe illness with nausea, dizziness, and in rare cases, neurological complications. For older adults, this is particularly concerning. With age, immune defenses and digestive efficiency decline, leaving the body less able to neutralize bacterial toxins. Chronic inflammation from harmful gut bacteria is also linked to higher risks of neurodegenerative conditions, highlighting the gut-brain connection. So that harmless-looking habit of reheating leftover potatoes can, over time, add to systemic inflammation that undermines both physical and mental health. Picture this: you bake potatoes for dinner, wrap the extras in foil and store them. A couple of days later, you microwave them for a quick bite. While it feels convenient, this routine may be introducing trace toxins into your body, and the effects can add up with repetition. To enjoy potatoes safely, cook only what you'll eat fresh when possible. If storing leftovers, cool them quickly and place them in airtight containers. Never foil before refrigerating. When reheating, use the oven or stovetop for even heating. Avoid reheating more than once. If leftovers have been in the fridge for more than a few days or show any spoilage signs, discard them. Potatoes remain a nutritious and delicious food when handled correctly. For anyone focused on preserving energy, memory, and long-term health, these small adjustments make a big difference. 3 eggs, the protein powerhouse that can get toxic when reheated. Eggs are a kitchen staple, prized for affordability, versatility, and impressive nutrition. Scrambled for breakfast, hard-boiled for snacks, or baked into quiches and casseroles, eggs deliver high-quality protein and essential nutrients like choline that supports brain function. Yet reheating cooked eggs, especially in the microwave or at very high temperatures, can transform this wholesome food into something with subtle but real risks. When eggs are first cooked, their proteins undergo denaturation. They unfold and reorganize so the body can digest them easily. That's natural and beneficial. But when those same eggs are reheated, especially unevenly or intensely, further chemical changes occur that can compromise both safety and nutrition. 2 main issues arise: the breakdown of sulfur compounds and the oxidation of cholesterol. Sulfur compounds, which are naturally present in eggs, can degrade during reheating, creating a rubbery texture and a sulfur-like odor. More concerning is the oxidation of cholesterol in the yolk. Under reheating, cholesterol can convert into compounds called oxysterols, which are linked to higher inflammation levels in cardiovascular disease. Research in the Journal of Lipid Research points to chronic inflammation from such compounds as a driver of memory loss and neurodegenerative conditions like dementia. Nature Review's Neurology emphasizes that older adults are especially vulnerable because their bodies process fats less efficiently. Arteries become less flexible, and brains grow more sensitive to inflammation. Consider this example. You boil a batch of eggs on Sunday to last the week. By Wednesday, you microwave one for a quick protein boost. It feels like a healthy choice, but reheating has toughened the proteins and oxidized the yolk's cholesterol, quietly introducing compounds that over years can contribute to systemic inflammation and long-term decline. The best solution is to enjoy eggs fresh or soon after cooking. If you prepare eggs ahead of time, eat them cold in salads, sandwiches, or as a snack instead of reheating. When reheating is unavoidable, use gentle, low heat on the stovetop and avoid multiple rounds. Store cooked eggs promptly in the refrigerator and consume them within a few days. If they smell off or look discolored, discard them. Eggs remain one of the most valuable nutrient-dense foods when handled with care. These small choices, whether you reheat, store, or eat them cold, accumulate into meaningful health benefits over the years. 4. Chicken, the lean protein that can fuel inflammation when reheated. Chicken is a staple in countless homes, praised for versatility, affordability, and its reputation as a lean, healthy protein. Grilled, roasted, or baked, it's often the go-to for families and fitness enthusiasts. Many people prepare chicken in bulk, storing it for quick meals throughout the week. This is convenient, but reheating chicken, especially in the microwave or at high oven temperatures, can subtly alter its makeup in ways that promote inflammation, digestive strain, and even long-term health concerns. When you first cook chicken, the heat denatures its proteins so your digestive system can break them down easily. But when you reheat that same chicken, especially with uneven heating as often happens in microwaves or under excessively high temperatures, the proteins undergo another transformation. They become tougher, more rigid, and harder for the body to digest. For younger people, this may barely register. As we age, digestive enzymes and stomach acid production decline. Foods that once caused no trouble can leave you bloated, uncomfortable, or sluggish without realizing the reheating was the trigger. Beyond digestion, science points to even greater concerns. Reheating proteins like chicken can generate advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These form when proteins and fats are repeatedly exposed to high heat. AGEs are not minor irritants. They've been directly linked to chronic low-grade inflammation, which medical research now recognizes as a root driver of conditions like heart disease, insulin resistance, Alzheimer's, and dementia. To make this concrete, imagine roasting chicken breasts on Sunday and storing them in the fridge. By Tuesday, you microwave a portion for lunch. It tastes fine, though maybe a bit rubbery. That change in texture reflects deeper chemical changes. The proteins have been damaged by reheating, making the chicken less digestible and creating compounds that place extra strain on your body. Over time, this repeated stress can fuel inflammation, silently wearing down resilience. For older adults already managing conditions like arthritis, high blood pressure, or brain fog, this hidden burden can magnify existing challenges, leaving less energy and clarity day by day. So what can you do? If reheating is necessary, use gentle methods like low heat on the stove or in the oven to minimize damage. Better yet, use leftover chicken in cold dishes such as salads or wraps, avoiding reheating altogether. Another option is to prepare smaller portions, so you can enjoy chicken fresh without storing large amounts. The bigger lesson is that how we prepare food matters as much as what we choose to eat. Chicken is indeed a healthy choice, but mindful handling ensures it remains your ally instead of adding hidden health risks. As we grow older, choosing gentler reheating or cold preparations becomes a powerful tool for protecting long-term vitality. 5. Mushrooms, the earthy delicacy that loses balance when reheated. Mushrooms are widely admired for their earthy taste, meaty texture, and rich nutritional profile. Packed with antioxidants, fiber, B vitamins, and immune-boosting compounds like beta-glucans, they add depth to countless meals. Whether sautéed in stir-fries, folded into omelets, or simmered in soups, they're celebrated for supporting heart health, strengthening immunity, and even lowering cancer risk. But here's the hidden drawback: mushrooms are unusually sensitive to reheating. This sensitivity doesn't just affect taste and texture, it can also alter how your body responds to them in ways that strain health. Unlike most vegetables, mushrooms contain a unique mix of complex proteins, enzymes, and delicate fats. When cooked fresh, these break down in a controlled way, releasing flavor and unlocking nutrients. Reheating, especially multiple times or at high heat, causes further breakdown. Their proteins and enzymes shift into less digestible forms, which can leave you bloated, sluggish, or uncomfortable. For older adults whose digestion may already be slower, the effects are more noticeable. The problem goes deeper. Improperly stored mushrooms, say, left in a plastic container that traps moisture, can oxidize when reheated, forming compounds that drive oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is one of the key forces behind aging, linked to chronic inflammation, heart disease, memory decline, and weakened immunity. Studies show that oxidized compounds in foods add to this burden, forcing your body to fight harder to defend itself. Consider this scenario. You prepare a creamy mushroom risotto for dinner, rich with oyster and cremini mushrooms. The next day, you reheat a portion in the microwave. Suddenly, the mushrooms are rubbery, watery, or a bit slimy, and the flavor tastes dull. These changes aren't just disappointing. They signal chemical breakdown, with proteins and fats transforming into compounds your body struggles with. For older adults already dealing with digestion or immune challenges, these subtle shifts can worsen fatigue, brain fog, or irregular digestion. What seems like a harmless reheating habit can, over time, add to the body's load of stress and inflammation. How can you reduce the risks? First, store mushrooms properly. Use a sealed glass container in the fridge to prevent moisture buildup. If you need to reheat, do so gently on the stovetop at low heat, not in the microwave. Better still, enjoy leftover mushrooms cold in salads paired with olive oil and herbs, where their flavor and nutrition remain intact. If possible, cook only what you'll eat in one sitting to avoid storage altogether. The takeaway is simple: even small dietary choices have long-term effects. Avoiding reheated mushrooms may seem minor, but it's one less source of strain on your system. By paying attention to preparation and storage, you can keep mushrooms a true ally for your vitality instead of a hidden source of stress. Final thoughts and practical takeaways. As we close this video, thank you for taking the time to learn about the surprising risks of reheating certain foods. Pause for a moment and reflect. Which part struck you the most? The hidden dangers in spinach, the bacterial risks in potatoes, how reheated eggs or chicken quietly affect your health, or the subtle way mushrooms lose their balance when reheated. These insights are grounded in science and designed to help you make smarter choices in your kitchen. Let's recap. Spinach's nitrates can convert into nitrosamines when reheated and stored improperly, compounds linked to cancer and neurological risks. Potatoes can harbor dangerous bacteria if cooled slowly and reheated, especially when wrapped in foil, which can create a low-oxygen environment perfect for toxins. Reheated eggs can generate oxysterols from oxidized cholesterol, fueling inflammation and potentially memory problems over time. Chicken reheated multiple times can develop advanced glycation end products, which are tied to chronic inflammation and brain health decline. Mushrooms are particularly sensitive. Reheating them can drive oxidative stress and digestion issues. Here are practical habits you can adopt right now. Cook only what you'll eat fresh when possible. If you must store leftovers, cool them quickly and use airtight containers. Prefer stovetop reheating over microwaves when you have to warm foods again. And where you can, enjoy leftovers cold in salads, wraps, or chilled soups. These small changes compound into big benefits over weeks and years. If this video gave you value, please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts matter, and reading your comments gives us motivation to keep creating content that informs and inspires. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue making videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.